Like, Ratchet and Clank I really want to do, but the problem is none of the games are available on PS5 yet, except Rift Apart, and like, the ones I have nostalgia for are the, like, the one I have nostalgia for is Up Your Arsenal, actually, because that was my first. It's kind of weird, the evolution of Ratchet and Clank, and how a lot of the games feel like a direct course correction from the previous game. Like, going Commando eased off on like the quote-unquote edginess of the first game quite a bit. But also eased off on like the other main issue of PS2. Of the first game, which is the final boss is stupid hard. To the point where it's like, yeah, grinding for bolts, which is very easy, there's an infinite bolt trick. Just to get the Rhino is like a genuine valid strat, because that final boss is that unreasonable to a lot of like first-time players. So I genuinely feel like going Commando goes in the opposite direction, where the final boss is a total joke, and then Up Your Arsenal actually hits that balance a lot better. All the Ratchet and Clank games were made with intense crunch. That was just kind of the way of the industry at the time. Why did I do that? The PS2 ones should be available at PS Selects. I don't think... Is that the streaming way? Because, like, I think it's only, like, the trilogy versions. Which I'm pretty sure are kind of broken anyway. But yeah, I don't think actually, like, the actual PS2 ones are natively available on PS5. Sly is, and Jack 1 should be, but I don't think they've added the other Jack games yet. They're basically redoing a lot of the PS2 games that were on PS4 because the emulator was really bad. So like they're actually re-adding some of them with like the fixed emulator, which is good because like Ape Escape 2 was like a seizure mess on PS5 at launch. I like how this is the Birdo fight I'm having the most trouble with because it's such a weird arena. I'm going to do something silly. I'm gonna jump up here, toss the Shy Guy to get a heart, and then we should be in better shape now. What do you mean by PS Selects, by the way? Because, like... Because again, I'm pretty sure it's just, like, the Sly Trilogy that's on there in full. Like, downloadable, like, you can buy these games for PS5 kind of games. Which again, I'm still waiting on, like, certain games to be added. They've added quite a bit already, but it's the same problem as Nintendo, the drip feed, except drip feed almost feels worse in some ways with PS2. But there's still a lot of first party that's missing on PS5 and PS4. They're working on it, and again, I have to give them credit for like literally going back and trying to fix their emulator, which was again completely busted at launch. But yeah, it's a very slow process for this emulation, like the new emulation to be added to certain games. Yeah, PS Classics, yeah. Yeah, again, I don't think Ratchet's on it yet, because I've been, like, meticulously following it, because I'm, like, waiting, like, counting the days until Ratchet and Clank are added, because those are the ones that are, like, I'm most excited for. Though I will be interested to play Sly. Oh, by the way, there's actually that quicksand pit. Now let's just skip the entire level. I kind of didn't draw any attention to it, and I also have not been using skips so far, to the point where, like, I probably shouldn't have used that, by the way. But oh well, it's too late now, I guess, unless I restart the level. And I would have to, like, totally restart the level, too, because there's no, like, if I die here, I'm going to start on the fight. I'm not going to be able to go back to the beginning without, like, saving and exiting. So yeah, that's on me. I zoned out a little bit. Went on autopilot because I usually use that skip. Oh, okay. Cool. I can reach those. I'm a little bit surprised, honestly. We do get one reused fight, and that is Mouser. I hate this. I am going to go back over here and get this heart, because, I've just not enough height to make this work very well. You can also just have the bombs land directly on your head, and you'll actually hold them, which is a faster way to pick them up. Okay, that should have counted. I call BS on that game. Okay, this Mouser takes extra hits. That makes sense. That's what I was thinking of. Because I could have sworn he took more hits than just 3. Okay. There we go. I should just stay on the right side. There we go. Hell yeah. I'll take it. Second try, but dying in a really silly way the first try. The other question I have is which Mario 64 do I do? Because Mario 64 is obviously a little bit more like, you know, traditional, controls better in some ways. However, the version I actually grew up with is DS. So I'm almost tempted to just do Mario 64 DS. So you can actually skip quite a bit of this level too, by jumping up here. Hey, remember how I was saying I wasn't trying to use as many skips and then I immediately do another skip? Yeah, this is very much a cohesive playthrough where I totally am not going on autopilot and spacing out to absurd degrees. To be fair, there is a coin there, so they do expect you to go that way. That might actually be the intended way, but this is just a faster way to get there. Yeah, we haven't warped, so it is still warpless. It's just not... I am using more shortcuts than I intended to. This part's dumb. I don't like this set piece. Just because of like weaving through all the enemies feels impossible. Especially because they're like infinitely spawning. Oh shit, this one turns around. I screwed up. Okay. Oh, thank God. I actually need this desperately. Come on, gotta make this count. It's also weird seeing like ninjas finally returning as like a staple enemy in games. Like, you know, you have Origami King obviously, which again I will still swear by Origami King as a game I actually enjoy quite a bit, even though I also fully admit it has like fundamental flaws that I think are worth pointing out. It's almost like nuance is good in gaming discussion. Oh, I got killed by Screen Crunch. There's an enemy up there. I backflipped straight into it. Cool. I don't know why I'm immediately like, okay, but what if I tried to do the exact same thing that got me killed and do it again? Like, I don't know why that's where my brain immediately goes, but here we are. Oh, speaking of it, here we are. Yeah, I should play more Kirby. I can't explain it if you don't know. Like, why "and here we are" is making me think of Kirby, but I swear it makes sense. You know, a game I want to play is Sonic Riders. I actually meant to play Sonic Riders like a month ago, but because my streaming schedule has been so erratic, I never got around to it. You lost me? Okay. And here we are is like a Kirby thing, and again, I don't know how to explain it. Right, it's brought you back? Okay, that's fair. For those who don't know, don't worry about it. Exactly. I love Forgotten Land, though. I think it's a fantastic game. It's got some weird bullshit in it, though. Like, I don't entirely agree. That was dumb. I don't entirely agree with having, Hold What am I trying to say? Like, some of the missions be as cryptic as they are. I do wish they were a little bit more straightforward sometimes. What am I doing? Like, I feel like I just lost all my ability to play this game all of a sudden. I really want to see what they do next for Kirby. Like, genuinely, that's like something I'm really looking forward to, seeing what the hell they do next with this franchise. This cursed-ass franchise. By cursed, I mean in a good way. Like, I'll never get over, like, Forgotten Lands finale. It's like the most absurd thing I've seen in a game in a long time, I'd say. Absurd in a good way. And again, I almost feel like Kirby's gotten into this, like, Xenoblade-ass camp of, like... I almost feel like there's a subset of the fanbase that's, like, really not coy about spoilers, and I wish they would be, because, like, Forgotten Land hits so much better if you don't know anything about it going in. Like, imagine if this is your first Kirby game, and then you get hit by, like, that moment. It's like everyone knows, if you played the game, you know what moment I'm talking about when I say that moment. I'm not even gonna worry about the potion this time, this is dumb. Trying to, like, maneuver around all these little insects. I'm just gonna keep moving. And hope for the best here. I don't even know where the mushroom would be if it's not up there. Maybe it's on the lower platform, like you have to drop down. That's probably it. So I probably did the right thing unintentionally all along. Alright, this one's mean. They give you only one mushroom block for this. My best advice would be to yeet it as much as you can to get it, like, in a position where Birdo's, like, not gonna camp it, basically. Well, camp it as much. I want to throw from the... shit. Well, that's awkward. I want to throw from the right side, because that'll give me more room to pick it back up again. Look at me using my head instead of forcing this game. Again, the other game I'm really on the fence of how to tackle is FF7. Because part of me has the really bad idea of what if I just try to play FF7 and alternate FF7 and the remake games. But I feel like that's a recipe for burnout. I also had an idea that's really bad, but in terms of my childhood games, there is a game relevant to the wider community I'm a part of that would apply, and that's Muppet Party Cruise. Not even kidding, I grew up with that game also, so there's a temptation to try to, like, figure out a way to, like, stream Muppet Party Cruise. Would that be a terrible mistake? Potentially. But who knows, maybe it might be fun. I don't even know how that game works. My kid brain was never able to comprehend it. It just felt like a mess to me. Like, not even kidding. So you were there when Statler gave Fozzie the curse. Yeah, that was a good moment. Alright, threaded that needle. Wow, I'm getting through this really quickly, like, shockingly quickly, to the point where I'm gonna probably botch it at the end, because I know my luck. There should be a path to the left here that goes to a mushroom. Oh yeah, here's a story. The last time I played Mario 2 was technically when I was homeless. Sort of. It's complicated, but like, I had to do an emergency move into like a motel for a month. And so I just had my Switch with me. Oh shit. And like, a lot of NSO stuff, obviously, so I'm just like, what am I gonna play? And so I just played through all of All-Stars. So yeah, interesting association with Mario 2 is like, immunizations and being in a motel for a month. It's like... So yeah, it's one of those games where it's like, this isn't one of my favorites, but it has so much... I have a lot of history with this game, and that's why it's kind of included in the favorites series. I still have warmed up to this game. I respect it a lot more than I used to, where I just thought it was like, oh, this game's really hard and different from everything else. I don't like it. Because again, it's like, if I'm not gonna branch out from Mario very much, I'm not gonna really like a Mario game that doesn't feel like a Mario game. So, now that I'm more accepting of like, oh yeah, this is Doki Doki Panic and all that, I know the lore and everything, it's like, yeah, I've warmed up to this game quite a bit. Still not my favorite, but it's definitely one I can appreciate on its own merit. I like how we've talked about wanting to do like review style stuff at the end of playthroughs. Oh hi, thank you for the hydration check. I will get to that in a moment once I thread this needle. Oh hey, thank you for the follow. And with that, we reached 70. Yay! Oh shit, I forgot about that. Well, this is a conveyor belt. This is a great time to drink water. Alright. I have hydrated. Okay, got a little bit stuck on that for some reason. How did that deal damage? I almost recommend with Peach, because her pickup speed is so slow, to like hold A afterwards, so you start floating as soon as the animation finishes, so you actually don't like get stuck in the like fall animation while the egg is about to hit you. Because again, just her slow pickup speed causes problems. Alright. This is awkward. There we go. I think I've had that happen in other versions of the game too, in all fairness. Shit. This is a case where actually having extra hearts is very nice, because you can actually just damage boost if you screw that up. I like how I screwed it up twice. Yeah, what the— oh, okay. That sucks. I'm just gonna take it. You keep forgetting that you have a backlog of VODs and you need to unprivate. I'm debating what to do with VODs on YouTube, or on Twitch, to be honest, because like, I have a lot of VODs saved, but I'm tempted to just move everything to like a VOD channel on YouTube, but I'm like trying to debate if that's a good idea or not, or like if I should just set up VODs as highlights and store them in both places. Yeah, this is a very fun set piece. I wish this gave you health though. Never mind, they give you health in this version, thank goodness, because I was not looking forward to fighting Wart with no health.
I am the great Wart.
Yeah, that's Marnail, right? Yeah, having like the bubbles powering up all the enemies the whole time, and then revealing, oh yeah, Wart attacks with bubbles. I think that's a really good like change. Not really a change, but like a little bit of extra story flavor to kind of explain, oh yeah, Wart's behind all this. This is like the best Wart fight I've ever had. This isn't even an advanced change, it's just I'm timing this really well for some reason. This should be like 8 hits, I think. Yeah, like I'm timing this unbelievably well for my standards. Well, maybe I should learn to not open my mouth when I'm doing well at a game. Luckily there was health over here still, so we'll just go over here and restock a bit. Yeah, I do have like a bunch of extra channels set up, but I don't promote them enough, I feel. Ah damn, that was just like, again, a really smooth Wart fight other than just, you know, safety strat at the end. And there you have it. Yep. Honestly, a very smooth run. I'm very happy with that. Again, I was very worried about how this was going to go. I was like very nervous that I'd get stuck on everything. and just be here for like 3 hours. But yeah, that actually went really smoothly. Again, a very interesting game. I like how we did every level as Peach, though. It's almost like I have a gender bias at this junction of my life. But it was all a dream. This is the Sonic 06 of Mario games. That's a cursed thought, actually. So now we have this little cast roll of all the characters. The original had a very famous typo, or like switch up where Astro and Birdo were switched. The irony of it is Birdo's name in Japanese has always been Catherine. So I don't know where Birdo comes from, but it's one of those things that's just kind of stuck. It's like, you know, you Spoony Bard in Final Fantasy IV. It's like, they can't get rid of the line, it's too iconic. Yeah, even as recent as like Deluxe, or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, if you look up like, Japanese names, like Birdo is still Catherine. So yeah, the Subcon. So yeah, basically the plot of this game is we're trying to save Subcon, but oh, it's all a dream. So, very interesting game, for sure. Doki Doki Panic, again, is a game I've definitely warmed up to. I don't know where I'd place it compared to World, is the funny part. I know, like, Mario 1 is my least favorite, just by the nature of it being the most basic. And Lost Levels is probably around there too, just by being so hard, even though, again, last week I actually did enjoy it quite a bit. But the real thing with this game is just... I do have a lot of nostalgia for it. It's more negative nostalgia, though, than Mario 1 and 3. But even then, I still think I, overall, appreciate this game quite a bit. So now we have a new mechanic, actually. Not gonna go through the entire game again, for the sake of time. However, there is something new here, where in every level, you can find Yoshis. So, to demonstrate, because I think I know where one of the Yoshis is, we can basically go through the level as normal. I might as well keep just chatting about my thoughts on the game. The other thing is, like, gender, I think is helping. This is, like, a bizarre statement to make, but, like, I feel like as a child, I kind of overcompensated, shall we say, to the point where it's like, I kind of mostly stuck with playing male characters in games for a long time. So, like, it turns out playing Mario is not the best strat in this game. So, like, playing the entire game as Peach made the game a lot more enjoyable, not gonna lie, instead of trying to play as, like, all the other characters. Someday, I will take the time to 100% this version, because this is my childhood version. The question is, do I actually do it on my old GBA cart, or do I just, you know, do the more sensible move and play it on NSO? Because you have, like, not having to fight a Game Boy player. Oh yeah, that's the other reason why this version, why this playthrough went really smoothly is, like, I grew up with the Game Boy Advance part and, like, a Game Boy player, or even just, like, a Game Boy Advance, but one of the models that doesn't have a backlight on it. So yeah, no wonder I actually had a rough time with the original, Mario 2 compared to this playthrough. We did lose a lot of lives, in all fairness. I was definitely playing pretty sloppy by the end. So I still stand by my overall opinion that this is, like, the hardest, classic Mario game in a lot of ways, but it does feel a lot easier than I used to think it was. However, I feel like I will eat my words if I immediately try to play, like All-Star version. If I try to play All-Stars or if I try to play the NES version, I will immediately regret being like, oh yeah, I don't think this is as hard as I remember it being. Like, no, it probably is. It's just this version isn't as difficult. You think Mario 3 is harder? That's interesting, actually, because I'm so used to Mario. Oh, I didn't mean to pick Mario. I meant to pick Peach again. We're just being consistent for this playthrough. I looked up a guide while I was talking, so... A game with no checkpoints is always going to be unforgiving. See, this is a case of, like, nostalgia, where it's like, I genuinely can't think of a level in Mario 3 that's, like, super difficult for me, because I've played this game, like, 20 times. And again, that's not saying the game isn't difficult, because it is, but I'm just so used to it that I don't think I'm really fazed by the difficulty as much as I probably should be. So it's like over here, I think. Whereas World 6 is pretty harsh and World 5 is brutal, or World 8 is absolutely brutal. Well, that's one Yoshi egg found. The other one is... towards the end, okay. World 7 is also pretty hard in all fairness. But again, it's like, I think I'm just desensitized to the difficulty, but again, that's not to say the game isn't difficult. Important distinction there is, like, it is a hard game, but it's just one that I feel so comfortable with that I'm probably not gonna struggle. Well, hopefully I'm not gonna struggle that much with it. We'll see next week, or whenever I get around to it. Yeah, it also gives you a lot of lives, too. I'm overthinking. It's in the jar, isn't it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's actually in this jar. Yeah, okay. That's just me being silly. So now we have to go up a little bit. About here, it looks like. This might be wrong. I might have to get another potion. There it is. Okay, that was not the best demonstration of this mode ever to have happened on the internet, but we got him. So you can kind of just level select this. It's also a good way, because I think you can get the coins in this too. I didn't mean to select the same level twice. Since you can collect the coins, I guess you could kill two birds with one stone to some extent, of just like getting both.